in a positive light, thinking of everything that you appreciate about yourself and above your life. And after 59 seconds, that really starts to gain momentum, and you can really start to manifest things in your world. So, who already knows that they are a god/goddess? What makes you a goddess?
Being on this earth and being able to share it with everything else that's here.
And you?
Owning all of who I am and sharing it with an open heart and being receptive to meet people in the same space.
Gods?
That's a good question. The fact that I can create and love myself and love others and hold sacred space for myself and the planet.
Yeah, I love those answers in that we can create, and that's what a god is, right? A creator. And I'm sure there's all things that we create. Therefore, we are all gods and goddesses. And when you are a god, you act like a god. You trust your internal guidance system, right? Like when it feels good, you do it, you follow that, and when it feels bad, you know you're going in the wrong direction. And so trusting that internal guidance with your thoughts and feelings. But when you recognize that you're a god, the difference is that you can be more mindful and intentional with where your thoughts go. And I think this is really important, and something that doesn't get a lot of attention, so to speak, is our thoughts gain momentum, just like now our positive thoughts gain momentum, but our negative thoughts gain momentum. And I'm sure you've had this experience where you start to tell a negative story and it's just like you can't even stop that train. It just won't keep going. But that train's not going in the direction that you want to be going in. And in fact, it's taking you the opposite of where you want to go. So I have this great analogy that I wanted to share with people because it helps me when somebody's going in the wrong direction with their thoughts. So if you want to manifest a goal, a dream, and it's over there, and I'm going to make the analogy of you want to go to Hawaii, right? Or you want to make a lot of money, or you want to manifest that partner, you want to, whatever it is that you want to manifest. The more you give your thoughts and attention and time and energy to like moving towards that dream, the more that dream is likely to manifest. And then there's, when we have judgments and criticism and we tell the negative story of how we grew up or how we were raised or how life treated us like crap, that train is going in the total opposite direction of where we want to go. And on that train, your seat is broken, there's gum under your shoe, and some asshole won't like stop turning off the music that he's playing. And that's you with the negative thoughts that keep going in that direction of where you don't even want to go. So that's the negative thought train. And then there's, of course, the positive thought train. So it's going to Hawaii. It's luxurious seating and the ocean view, and dolphins are jumping outside, and it's absolutely amazing. And so you have a choice all of the time to make a decision to get on whichever thought train. And you can raise your vibration and start manifesting the things that you want by being mindful of where your thoughts start to go. So if you start to head down the negative thought train and you catch yourself, and you'll start to notice other people too, which is why I love this story, because I can now share with all of you when you start going down the negative thought train, like, okay, let's pull the cord and stop and just get the fuck off this train. Like, let's get to the platform, at least stop the momentum, because it's not even going where you want to go. It's the opposite direction. So pull the cord. Let's just get off this awfulness and at least get to the platform. And we may not be able to make that quantum leap from going where we definitely don't want to go to getting to Hawaii, right? We got to get on the platform, take a little time, meditate, take a nap, whatever you have to do to get yourself centered again. And then you can get onto the positive thought train and really start to give that momentum. What would it look like if my partner showed up tomorrow? What would it look like if I had $1 million? What would it look like if this dream happened, if that dream happened? And start playing with those imaginary thoughts, like when we were a little kid and we're a little, in our minds we were little creators, but now we're adults. And the thing is we can actually create real shit in the real world if we start giving those positive thoughts momentum and intention, and we get other co-creators and collaborators to like join in on our collaborative, creative, God-like efforts if we give it that time and attention. So that's my request. is if you find somebody going down the negative thought train, maybe just give them that analogy and be like, all right, let's just pull the cord and stop. And if you notice yourself too, like, all right, I gotta stop doing this. All right. So now I'm curious what you creators are already creating or want to create.
A miniature intentional community in my home.
Huh?
A tiny intentional community in my
Tiny one. And you?
My healing business and just helping people along.
I love it. Good healers. And what about you, God?
Just self-inquiry and being content.
Awesome. So we all have that internal guidance system that says when we're feeling good, we're going in the right direction, to trust that direction and start following that more often and more frequently, and finding the things that you enjoy and you feel fun and you feel fulfilled. And then it doesn't matter what you do, but then the dreams, the people, the situations, and they have to show up, right? Because you're a vibrational match for those things to now show up in your life. And so the more time and attention we put towards caring about how we feel by choosing to do the activities and things that fill us up and make us vibrate higher, the more and more people, places, situations we're going to attract and bring it in. Okay, so we have lots of people, we have a place, we have situations that are going to happen this weekend. So let's take another minute to get deliberate and get intentional with the small dreams we want to manifest for this weekend, the major dreams down the line, and the dreams in between, the little things, and then having fun with how funny or fun it's going to be as these things start to show up and manifest. When my perfect partner shows up, I want to laugh ridiculously over how it had happened or how it manifested or showed up. Laughter is like a really high vibration, but so if we can take another 59 seconds to really give that some momentum. We can start short term, middle, whatever we want to create in our lives. Another minute. Starting at 2:22. Starting now. Okay. Coming back. What did you set as an intention for this weekend?
Oh, is that what I'm supposed to do?
Okay, or your life? What did you set?
Okay. Well, there's a lot of things. So many things. You want me to state them all?
Yeah, go for it, God. Got us.
A loving, creative, supportive relationship, and other relationships in my life. Time for creativity and creating new things and creating beautiful items.
too many. Sorry. So many. I could go on.
And what about you?
Oh boy, okay. Just to make this the best event for everybody that's here and make this thing just grow. Like Leslie was saying, make seeds just blossom and make this everybody love each other more and just make this type of event go crazy. Everybody get thumbs out of it and love each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about your long term? You personally?
Oh, just to inspire people. This is by the way I walk my life. Just hopefully I live a life that to keep things going for everybody else, love each other, and it's inspiring people, not bringing people down. Focusing on finding all the great things that people.
Super proud dad of Ray who put this on, so yay.
That was a little selfish about the first part. But it's for everybody.
It is. It is, yeah. All right. So another thing that I would like for us to meditate on, and this is an unusual one, and I like the way that this one is set up. So let's close our eyes again. And this time, we're going to imagine that we're on our deathbed. And I want you to come up with approximately 3 things that you would regret if you did not accomplish in this life. If you look back on a life from your deathbed, what would you regret if you did not do that thing or those things? People, places, situations that you didn't get to experience, people you didn't get to know, places you didn't get to visit, loves you didn't get to have. And I like the way this question is worded, and what would you regret if you didn't accomplish it, more than what do you want to accomplish? Because we have an idea of what we want to accomplish, but when you would live with a sense of regret of not having accomplished that thing. And those are the important things that we need to start working on today. If you're not going in that direction and you're not making the baby steps to accomplish the goals and the dreams that you would regret not having done in your life, we need to start today, start right now, start with your intention to start taking the steps that are going to get you in that direction. So would anyone be willing to share a surprise regret that they didn't realize? No one was surprised? What about a big dream that they would like to accomplish?
I want to leave an impact on the world, and sort of what this other God was saying, inspire other people to see the positivity and the beauty and the goddess in themselves.
Yeah. I'm curious how you would do that.
First, I would work on myself and do the things to fulfill what my needs are, to be able to help other people and hold space for other people to grow themselves and put myself out there for other people's time.
I love that. Yeah, you know what? That really resonates with me. So we should talk, because I feel like that's why I'm here. A little bit about my story, just to give you guys a little bit of background, is that I'm the first person in my family to even graduate high school. My parents are from Detroit. They are very poor, uneducated. A lot of my family is very poor and uneducated. And My dad worked really hard to get us out of like a suburb of Detroit as a truck driver. He was a truck driver, and he worked really hard to get us out of that situation, and we made it out in middle school to a really nice neighborhood out in Michigan. And from there, I could see all of my neighbors and all of the people who seemingly were doing really well all went to college. And so to my innocent mind, like, college is the way to like make something of myself. And the summer after I graduated high school, I was going to be the first person not only to graduate high school, but to then go on to college. And I started with my first psychology class, and I absolutely loved it. And I knew that I needed a lot of help and to work on myself. And I did eventually graduate from U of M with a degree in psychology. And now I'm increasingly more inspired to help people, because I feel like that little girl inside of me who was poor, who didn't have opportunities, not to go too much in that story because then I'm on the negative thought train. I have a narcissistic mother who didn't really know how to love me very much. So now when people start to tell their story, or they're stuck in a pattern, or they're going in the wrong direction, I want to be inspired to pluck out that memory, that thought, that belief that somehow when you were a little girl, when you didn't know enough about the world, you decided was the truth of the world, and it just wasn't. Those negative thoughts and beliefs like I'm not good enough, or I'm not pretty enough, and I'm not smart enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not enough in any way, shape, or form might have helped us cope in that time and place when we were children, but it is not helping us anymore, and it's not serving us, and it's keeping us and preventing us to being our biggest, most awesome self. And so I feel like if I chose that life of being poor and having a not loving mother so that I can help other people come out from those situations, I genuinely know what it feels like to not believe I'm lovable. I genuinely know what it feels like to not have opportunities. And all of them just weren't true. They just weren't true. It was the people, places, and situations that you were put in that put that shit on you, and it's false, and it's a goddamn lie. Yeah. And so whenever we have a negative feeling, where is that? Why is that, right? First of all, it's not on our path, but so what is that? Let's check back in with that negative feeling. That negative feeling is somewhere when we decided, we made a memory about the world. So what you trace that feeling back, whatever negative feeling it is. When did I first experience this? When did I first feel this feeling? Go back as far as you can to when you first experienced it, because that's when you imprinted a thought or belief about the world. It helped you cope in that situation, but it is not helping you anymore. And what we need to do is bring our current wiser self, who has much more information about the world, is much wiser, and stand behind that little girl or that little God and remind them, be the reparent them as to that wasn't true. That person was dealing with their own things. That person was dealing with their own things. Maybe mom and dad just wasn't there. We need to go behind that person and say, you are so amazing and so beautiful, and I love you, and I got your back, and I'm here for you no matter what, because we are all, like, we have our higher selves that can remind us how amazing and beautiful and awesome that we are, and the things that happened to us had nothing to do with us, and we are good enough, and we are lovable, and we are capable. And the more we can pluck those out and see that they weren't true, the more that's not going to hold us back from our big dreams that we want to accomplish and we want to go towards. And the reparenting isn't easy by any means. If our little girl came up with that, that's how she's been coping for a little time, or a little boy. That's how they've been coping with the world, and that's what we know, and that's our pattern. But now we need to be intentional. If you're an intentional God, you're saying, okay, where's this thought? Where does it go back to? What was the situation? Who are the characters? And what belief did I take on, and is it serving me anymore? And it's clearly not, because you can feel it, that it's not. Okay. So then we can identify that, and we can love the shit out of that little kid. Like, who isn't lovable? Who isn't amazing? Who isn't powerful and owning their stuff? Like, the fantasies and the dreams and the things that you had were valid and they were real until someone told you that they weren't. And they had their reasons, and that's okay. But as a deliberate creator now, We need to know the story.